Yes, hi everybody. Welcome to our broadcast today. My name is Dr. Chidi. I'm reaching you guys from Toronto, Canada. Do me a favor and help us share this video. I welcome everybody who's been with us for all this time. And I welcome you if today is your first time of encountering this um, YouTube channel, Facebook channel, or any other social media channel. If this is your first time, please make sure that you hit the notification bell so you get notified. A lot of people say they don't get to know when we come live. And also, if you have not subscribed, please make sure you subscribe. One thing I've noticed is that um, a lot of the people who watch, and there are lots of you, the YouTube algorithm says that just about 15% of you are subscribed. So subscribing is not like the newspapers or those other uh, media organizations that tell you to subscribe, and the subscription is a paid subscription. I'm just trying to adjust my camera, sorry. This subscription is not a paid subscription. The subscription is free. So please subscribe. It's just so that when we come live, you'll get to know that we're live, okay? And that we can communicate with you. You know that you're a member. Yes, so many things to talk about always in Nigeria and happening with Nigerians. And there's lots to talk about. But right now we're focusing on Dele Farotimi. If you don't know, Dele Farotimi is an activist, is very vocal about things that happen in Nigeria, especially with the ruling class, with the government. He's been a very strong critic of the government. And he was arrested and taken from his location in Lagos to another location in Ekiti State, and they got him detained. They threw him in prison. Okay. And even though he's a lawyer, and at one time he has also sued people for the same thing he's being sued. But what we're saying is that the way he was treated leaves a lot of questions to be asked about the judiciary. You would even think that the judiciary that knows it's in a bad place with Nigerians, I mean, you would think that they will know better than to be doing anything that puts them in the black book of Nigerians. But there they go, throwing him in detention. And what we're doing is we're demanding that they release him because we understand the system. Okay, we understand the system. We've been there, done that. We predicted what is going on right now. The problem is that a lot of you, yes, you that is watching me right now, some of you did not believe what we're telling you. Some of you were countering what we're saying. Some of you were busy um, advertising us in a negative light about what we're saying. But right now, you're experiencing what's going on. You're living in it. You're feeling it. So we're hoping that this whole thing will be a learning experience for everybody. It doesn't matter your political inclination, your religious beliefs, or whatever ideology you have. What is going on right now in Nigeria is a big learning curve, and I'm hoping that people will come out of it better. Um, I have, okay, there are some people who are joining the studio. If you are joining the studio and you want me to bring you up, you have to be ready to turn on your camera. For some of you, if you're not able to turn on your camera, I could let you speak without turning on your camera. Okay. I will also post the invite link here so that if anybody wants to come on, you can come on. Also, if you have your own channel, if you have your YouTube channel or Facebook channel or any other channel, and you want to stream this live, you can as well do that. Once you come in as a guest, you're able to stream this live. Thanks to some of you who are leaving comments for us. Esther Luyide, the Secretary General of the TIB, thank you for being here. AK Rocks, I'm doing well. Thank you for being here. And thanks to so many of you. I had guests who are supposed to be joining us today. They may join somewhere along the line, but they're busy planning this protest. We're here today to talk about the planned protest that's happening in so many locations around the globe. Okay, it's not just in Nigeria. The Take It Back movement were the first, like always. You see, there are things sometimes I don't want to talk about them, but then you have to talk about them. You see how Chief Collins Ogoke, I see you. You see how immediately this happened, immediately Dele Farotimi was arrested. Let me tell you the truth, because sometimes we ignore these things. We don't talk about it. It's time we start talking about it. When Dele Farotimi was arrested, the first person to break the news was Omoyele Sowore. Yes, this is the same Omoyele Sowore that Dele Farotimi did not support in the last election, but that's fine. If you go and watch my last video, you see where I tweeted that issue. I brought Dele Farotimi for an interview, and during the interview, we veered off and we started talking about the election most of the interview. You know, I declared he didn't support Omoyele Sowore, but it was Sowore that broke the news to everybody. It was Sowore. You should know, trust the Harry Potters. He was the one that was able to figure out even where Farotimi was. His staff, his family, nobody knew where he was. Sowore was the one that found out where he was, and he was able to was the whistleblower. He was one that said, hey, this is where this guy is. Okay, so it's always good to give credit to whom credit is due. And he swung into action. He started making all kinds of calls. He is the one that sent the first lawyer down to go and stand for Dele Farotimi. You can take it to the bank. And I said this, it was Omoyele Sowore. Why am I saying this? I'm saying this because right now, when everybody didn't know what to do, when everybody didn't know how to start this whole thing, Sowore pulled his movement, the Take It Back movement, and said, hey guys, he called everybody together, he called us together. I said, listen guys, injustice to one is injustice to all. We have to fight for this guy. And we all swung into action. And we brought out the first flyer. The first flyer you see flying around, it was the Take It Back movement. When we did this flyer, and you might say, Chidi, why are you saying this? Yes, I don't want what happened during the NSAS to happen again, because I'm beginning to see it happen. It's not like we're begging for credit, but it's good to set the record straight, because mischief people already have started. Now, when we put out the flyer, a lot of people came and said, oh, we are not protesting. Every time you people go to protest, but everything is not protest. Everything is not. We still went ahead and put the flyer, and we set the date and time. We were not afraid of saying, yes, it is us that are going to do the protest. Of course, immediately we did that, police and everybody started threatening. No, you can't do this. You can't do that. You can't do this. Then the people, I don't want to call names now, but the people who you thought would have swung into action the first time they heard that Dele Farotimi was arrested, then they now woke up from their sleep. And now I was watching, and I might even play the tape for you. I was watching somebody on our Rise TV opening a discussion, and this person was recognizing the different organizations who have made statements and the different past political leaders and past presidential candidates. That's the one that really, really pissed me off. He said, oh, this person said this person said this, another person has said this. He never mentioned Omoyele Sowore. He never mentioned the Take It Back movement. And so now everybody is beginning to say they're going to do protests. And they're now pushing the Take It Back movement to the background. They're now pushing Sowore to the background. Tomorrow now you hear that, oh, Sowore is the one trying to hijack. You see, that I don't like it. And we must just stop that thing. When Sowore was pushing for this guy, he wasn't thinking of taking any credit. But when it is time to take credit, let us give credit to whom credit is due. All right. I need to get that out of the way. Okay, so right now everybody is in obedient. They say they're going to protest. That's good. Other civil liberty organizations have spoken up. They are going to protest. So let's focus on the protest. We here in Toronto, Canada, we're going to be protesting. We're going to do a different kind of protest. We're going to have a protest letter, and we're going to take it to the human rights organization here. Anytime I get upset, I begin to forget things. But Amnesty International, yes, we're going to be going to Amnesty International to protest the incarceration of Dele Farotimi, and we've invited people to come join us. So tomorrow we're going to be there, and if you are in Toronto and you're able to come out, please come out. Let us show our displeasure with what is happening. I'm also going to identify for you the different other places where the protests will be happening around the world. One is happening in London, and one is and the rest are happening in Nigeria. Okay, but if you're not able, if none is happening where you are, you have a chance to be part of what's going on. I'm going to bring in at some time in the program the one of the officials of the Take It Back movement, and someone who is one of the chief organizers of the protests that are happening in Nigeria, to tell us what will be happening with this protest so that we're all well informed. Let me also tell you guys that if you keep thinking that we shouldn't be announcing this protest and our plans, I will tell you why we're going to be, we do that, why we announce these things. And when I bring in Femi Adeyeye, he'll be able to answer some of these questions and explain to you the reason why we go ahead and announce these things when it's happening. Femi, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Please go ahead and introduce yourself to our viewers, and please let us know what position you hold, especially regarding the protest that will be happening on Tuesday.
All right. Thank you very much. My name remains Femi Adeyeye, and I'm the National Publicity Secretary. Please confirm to me if I'm audible enough.
Yes, you are. You're audible. Yes.
Oh, great. So I'm the National Publicity Secretary of the African Action Congress and also a staunch member of the Take It Back movement. And as you all know, it's the movement that is in court with different organizations that is actually championing the Free Dele Farotimi and Repeal Cybercrime Act and protests. A movement that seeks to make sure that Nigerians are free wherever they are to express themselves, to disagree, to criticize the government without fear or favor, and to make sure that the freedom after speech is also guaranteed. In Nigeria today we say, oh, freedom of speech is guaranteed, but the freedom
after speech, that's the problem.
Freedom after speech is not guaranteed. So we consider that it's a very backward idea, especially in the 21st century. Those days where freedom after speech were not guaranteed were the days of the colonial masters, where you used to have some laws that they call laws of sedition, where you can't insult the queen or the crown, things like that. But now people must be free to express themselves. And in fact, that freedom must also include the fact that they can even insult.
Freedom is freedom.
Say, oh, your freedom of expression is not absolute. There should be limits to it. No. The right to freedom of expression should be as free to the point that even people can say nonsense.
Oh yes.
Do you get? Then there are laws to then fix that nonsense at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But people must be free. If we continue to push that narrative that freedom after speech is not guaranteed, what you're only doing is that you are fanning the narratives of fascists and tyrants, and that is what they want to achieve, so that nobody speaks again. Even if you have documents to back whatever you're saying, you're even scared in the first place, and then because they are also very smart with their laws and their institutions, they will now start looking for technicalities with, in your evidence and all of that. So, but these are the things that we'll be trashing out in the coming days, starting from Tuesday. And we've actually been doing that, but Tuesday is going to be the beginning of the free Dele Farotimi, protests across the world. We all know that even where Dr. Chidi is in Canada, it will be holding. In the UK, London to be precise, it will be holding at the King's College campus. Yes, Nigerians have already staged. In fact, it's going to be hot over there because the person in question happens to, used to fund a particular center at King's College on human rights and things like that. So we consider it ironical, very, contradictory that somebody will be sponsoring human rights courses in a place like the UK, or while here in Nigeria is busy using the instrumentality of the states to go after people he has personal squabbles with. So these are the things we would be straightening out. In Nigeria here, from Lagos to Ekiti to Abuja, all these places will be occupied, including the chambers of this self-acclaimed legal luminary, Afe Babalola.
Okay. People ask, why do we advertise? Why do we advertise our plans? Why do we advertise the venue? Why don't we keep it secret? Because according to them, when you advertise this thing, then the state knows your venue, and then they can always come there to attack you.
You see, people who say these things, I would not outrightly say some of them are mischievous, because some are actually raising serious questions. But a number of them are actually mischievous, and we know those people. They won't do any action. They are not ready for action at all.
Yes.
But you announce your own action, they would water down your action. They want to, say a lot of things. They have the best ideas. Everything is just in their head. They would never bring it on ground. People will say, protests are not planned. I want them to show me a place in history where protests, even revolutions, were not planned. Let them show me places where people just stand up, and then, it's not true. It's not true. Am I still online?
Yeah, you're still online. You're online.
Okay.
For instance, let me add. You see, people who say this, they say, NSAS did not have a leader. NSAS was leaderless. So could you maybe throw a little bit more light into NSAS, because you were part of the organization of NSAS?
That's not true. And why did the government start freezing accounts of people if it was actually leaderless? So the government itself started looking for the leaders of the protest. So it is not true. But this is a way to put it. It is to say the states has the instrumentality of violence in every corner. So that even if you don't announce your protest, they know you are coming out. We should not be naive as citizens of this country. Why is it that you have police stations in almost every corner of Nigeria? Police stations are, in fact, within, I think, 4-kilometer perimeter of everywhere you are. So that even if you don't announce your protest and you come out, within 3 minutes, you will see vans of police. In fact, the officers, the number of policemen that you would see at your protest, you'll be shocked that, wow, so we have this kind of police, number in Nigeria. The equipment they will bring to that protest, you'll be shocked that, wow, so you have this kind of, this new equipment. You have, we've done a number of protests in this country, and I think people by now should begin to understand that you are dealing with a state that is always prepared to make you go violent, and because it has the instrumentality of violence. So when people raise questions around, oh, it has to be leaderless, don't put a name to it, just come out. Why is it that people have not come out since Tinubu has been dealing with everybody? Since he has been dealing with us, it's almost 2 years. I've not seen anybody just, people just come out spontaneously, and then just start protesting. It has not happened. So people who say these things are actually, some of them are naive, some of them are being mischievous to just, water the whole thing down. And some of them are sponsored by the state, APC and their goons. They would always come, oh, it's a lie. In fact, they will beat all of you. In fact, they should even slap you. Oh, they let the courts decide. They will come with all these things. And even the person in question, Dele Farotimi, warned every one of us that they've already paid some, social media influencers and those persons he also described as human rights activists. Because some of them, in the coming days, aside what you've seen online, you will start seeing them on TV. They will start coming to do some kind of analysis paralysis of, defamation is this, it is criminal in Ekiti, it is criminal in Sambisa, it is criminal in Lagos, there's a particular section of the law, things they don't know. So automatically they will just become analysts of the law. So we should not be naive. I want to encourage Nigerians. You can protest at any time. It is your right. You can announce the protest, you can plan for it, you can even the US, the history is there for all of us to learn from. The Martin Luther King of this world even planned protests during their time. There were dates to it that on this particular day, all of us will be moved. And it is also good for mobilization. Exactly. How do you keep a date to yourself to say, oh, let's keep this date, let's just be doing underground? So who told you that DSS is also underground, looking for that date that you are keeping? So why not just announce the date and tell people, come out on this particular date, we are going to picket this place, we are going to be protesting on these issues, you understand? So that people can even be educated about those issues. We've been on, that was at the University of Lagos at some point. There was this xenophobic attack issue in South Africa. So we were leading a protest. And this TV reporter just asked one of the guys behind us that, okay, so what is xenophobia? What's it about? And this guy did not know what to say. But he was with us at the protest, So it is easy to mobilize people without educating them. Just announce, oh, we are marching on this, the people will come out. But if they are not properly educated, and that is why planning, announcing it, helps to mobilize people, to educate them about the issues. This Dele Farotimi issue, since we announced it, even those who have not heard the word defamation in their lives, they've gone to Google the meaning. Okay, what's defamation? What does it mean to have freedom of expression? What does it mean to be, how to, petition the police, how the police can receive your petition, how the police can arrest somebody on your behalf. See, even me, I learned something this time around. I've never known, Dr. Chidi, that the police can be so humanitarian, can be so patriotic, that on behalf of a private citizen, they would drive all the way from Ekiti to Lagos.
But when you call them about a crime happening just down your streets.
Yeah, in fact,
down your streets.
These guys are so intentional and very demure that they would, on behalf of a citizen, use their own money. Wow. So the police actually used their money. Have you, Dr. Chidi? Is that it? So they used their own money for their own cars.
It's not their money.
From Ekiti to Lagos.
They give them money. Somebody sponsored it.
Of course. So someone sponsored it, and we know who sponsored it. So sponsored the trip down to Lagos, arrested someone, and drove him that same day to Ekiti State. That means the budget, maybe the amount that is getting to the commissioner of police from the federal post must be very robust. Because if you can do that for a man, that means I think all of us should be writing petition to the police so that they can help us pick people.
And example, everywhere they are.
If you offend me,
yes,
if you offend me, I would write
just
to
right.
the police here. They will come to Canada.
Since that is all it took, there was no extra thing.
There was no extra.
It was just the petition. Yeah,
yes,
because that's
nobody paid. So that Afe Babala does not sue me also for defamation.
So I'm saying
you did not pay.
Alleged.
They were just very patriotic and humanitarian police officers And so Dr. Chidi, be ready. Any day you defame me,
You're
I'm
going
to send police officers to Canada. They will fly to Canada and then they will bring you back to this place so that you can come and answer to your crimes.
But okay, let me also ask this: why? And we know this clearly that Dele Farotimi took his stand, and I know some people after my interview with Dele Farotimi, I heard they took my name, they took the video, and they were tearing me apart on Twitter because of how I was quizzing him on his activities during election. But why would you think that even after all that history that the Take It Back movement or more electoral has with Dele Farotimi in the past election, why would we be in the forefront championing a cause for his release even after everything?
Okay, two things. Number one is that we don't do what we do so that we can get so that anybody can organize some kind of Thanksgiving ceremony for us. It's a thankless, and that's what our leaders taught us. It's a thankless, endeavor. What we do is thankless. Don't expect thank you from anybody. In fact, the fact that you are doing it for yourselves too. Because if this can happen to Dele Farotimi, we are all endangered species. Dele Farotimi, being as influential as he is, is a man of means to a reasonable extent.
Sure.
If this can happen to him, where he's now presently jailed in Faraway Ekiti, Ado Ekiti, in the prison, Afao prisons, since December 3rd till this time. Just imagine another Dele somewhere in in the suburbs who just find who can just maybe have some kind of quarrel with maybe his landlord, and his landlord, because he knows the DPO, will just call the DPO and then lock him for 7 days, 1 week, 2 weeks, and just say, I just want to teach him a lesson. We've seen that many times. I just want to teach him a lesson. Let them just go and lock him up. I'll come for him later. So that's why we do what we do. It is to make sure that we do not allow tyranny, we do not allow oppression to have its hold in our society. And that's what people must understand. Our comrade, Dele Farotimi, is not, we disagree on different levels. And I think the last time he was even on your show, he mentioned my name. I was told by people, and I think I went back to, he mentioned my name. I think he wants to have a debate with me or something like that. People mentioned that to me. We disagree on political choices. We disagree on the way to go. We disagree because Nigeria is in too many mess that everywhere now looks like the way. Everybody is looking for a short fix, how to fix this thing. But for us, we are not looking. Can you hear me?
Yes, yeah. We can hear you.
Okay. So for us, we are not looking for the short a short fix out of the problem. My comrade Dele Farotimi, with due respect, feels like there's a shorter way, to get out of these problems, and that is where we differ. But that does not stop us from doing what we need to do at this time. We are not doing it for him. We are actually defending some of the things some of us went to prison for, which is freedom of expression, freedom of association, freedom to gather and, express dissent. If we allow what's happening to Dele Farotimi to go on like this without putting up a fight, what we have said outrightly is that we have allowed the judiciary to continue to be corrupt. We are telling the executive to continue to, look at what they've done now. Aside the magistrate thing, they've also, the Inspector General of Police has also, sued Dele Farotimi, so that you can understand how these things are connected. There are powerful interests in this country who want to keep him as an example, of all of us, want to keep him in perpetual detention as long as they can achieve it. So we are not doing this so that we can be thanked. We are doing it because it is what must be done. We must do it urgently, even at this time.
All right. Now, before I let you go, let me explain to people the locations where these protests are happening, especially in Nigeria, and how they can participate. And I have someone in the studio I'm going to bring in after you.
Oh, great. Okay, so as early as 7 a.m. on Tuesday morning, we'll be gathered to hold morning devotion at Afe Babalola Chambers in Lagos. The address is right there. People are already asking, you know. Interestingly, people are already in that estate. And I'm saying this, people are already in there. They think, let's put that by the side. But anyways, so on Tuesday, the protest will be holding. That's in Lagos, Afe Babalola Chambers, in Ekiti State, where people are already mobilizing powerfully to the courts. So there will be a march from the courts to the police headquarters in Ado Ekiti, because it will be brought. We hope it will be brought to court, and prison warders will not say they don't have. And I will say something like that happening.
Fuel in
yes,
their car.
that they don't have fuel. Yes, yes. I envisage something like that happening on Tuesday, and we'll be back to review. They may go ahead to say, oh, there's no fuel, the vehicle broke down, and all of you. So, but that's for Ekiti. Okay, Lagos I've also mentioned. In Abuja, the march will be from the Ministry of, because the IG has also joined the fray. Unfortunately for him, he will be feeling the heat also in Abuja. So from the Ministry of Justice down to the police headquarters, the police force headquarters in Abuja, Nigerians will be marching to ask that Comrade Dele Farotimi is released and the charges against him are dropped immediately. And that the Cybercrime Act, which is now the darling of every tyrant in Nigeria. Anybody wants to deal with you now, we just quickly call their lawyers. So use Cybercrime Act against this person. Now that is the best law book, in Nigeria, Cybercrime Act. They'll just use it to hold you down, say, oh, I agree, libel in this particular state is not criminal, it's a civil suit, but this is a cyber issue. You posted on YouTube, you posted on this thing, so don't worry. The police, no, I'm not the one prosecuting you, it's the police. That's what they now do these days. So we'll also be asking that devilish act should be repealed. We need Nigerians to be freer at this time. You should not gag Nigerians with anti-democratic acts, and that's what the protest is about.
I just put something up now. The funny thing that coincides with the 10th of December 2024 is that the 10th of December is the Human Rights Day, World Human Rights Day. Is actually the 10th.
Yes.
So exactly. What a day to organize a human rights protest. So that's why we here in Canada, we've chosen Amnesty International headquarters here as the venue of our own protest, because it's a day that is very, very important for human rights in the world. Anyway, thank you so much, Femi. Thank you for the work you do. I mean, I was telling people it's not just to talk. This is time for action. The same people who, and I don't want to call names, but yourselves, you kicked against demonstration, you kicked against protests, and when you were disenfranchised, when you needed protests, it was like the wolf. You started calling for protests, nobody could come out to protest. This is an opportunity for you now to rewrite the history books to show that you have learned. We're hoping that you come and join. And then what do you have to say? Let me ask you this question finally before I let you go. On Arise TV, somebody was making an introduction before. Let me see if I can find that video. But he was going to talk about this protest, and he mentioned all the people that talked about talked about planning the protest. He never mentioned anything about Take It Back movement. He never mentioned anything about Omoyele Sowore. Why
he
is this?
He does not want thunder to strike him. That's why. you see, if they don't mention us, they know what they are doing. They know what they are doing. If they don't mention us, and it's their problem. We don't have a problem with that. Ours is to act on the field, and like I said, it's a thankless job. We'll act on the field. We'll get what we want to get, and we are also asking Nigerians to, get active. You can't continue to just, agonize in your room. These things, I know many people who are bitter, who are, they are not fine with what's going on. They just, we know. So this is the time to come out to speak. You cannot, the country is not going to change because you are agonizing. It's not going to change by you crying in your house, feeling bad, or, just wishing it away. No, it's going to take action. And that is what we are doing. So the person you said mentioned those who are organizing and did not mention us is trying to avoid thunder, because in Take It Back movement we have serious thunder on ground. If you mention us in any coven, that is not how do I put it? That is not pleasing. We have serious thunder that can strike anybody. Yeah, literally.
Okay. Yes, thank you so much, Femi Adeye, and then I wish you guys a successful outing on Tuesday, the 10th of December. We will be doing our own here, but I know you guys, your own would have been over by the time we're starting ours, so we'll be having notes. We'll be taking notes from you guys.
Taking notes from there. Okay. So please, those Nigerians in London, please. This is the time to really troop out. The phone number will be shared for mobilization. If you want to reach out, I would share the phone number so that because London needs to be hot.
You can send it. If you can send me the phone number if you want it to be public.
All right.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay, send me the number that people can call if they want to join in London.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Okay, take care.
Yes.
Bye-bye. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay, guys. So that was Femi Adeye, PRO of the African Action Congress, and a staunch member of the Take It Back movement, and also one of the organizers of the Free Dele Farotimi protest on Tuesday, speaking to us about the protest. I have someone in the studio, Chief Collins Ogoke. I think you wanted to say something. You had, but your video, you're no longer showing on your video. So, Chief Collins, if you can hear me, I'll be able to bring you in now to say one or two things. I don't want to preempt you by posting something, but Chief Collins, if you want to come on, because what you were mentioning is something that I think could also help to inform people. Okay, I'm going to bring you in here. Before I bring you in, let me post the comment that you posted here. So Jenny B, I see you. Good to have you here, Jenny B. Thank you so much. Chief Collins Ogoke, you posted, you said there's so many evils and criminalities going on in Nigeria. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu should be freed. Let me also, before I bring you in, Chief Collins, I'll bring you in shortly when you are ready. But let me, while that is happening, let me bring in, where is this thing we used to bring people in? Let me, if you want to come in, there is there's a button for anybody who wants to come. There's a link if you want to join us here. I'm going to post that link. So there's a link I posted in the comment section. If you want to join us in studio, you can use that link. But right now, we're talking about Dele Farotimi and the protests that will be happening around the world on the 10th. But one of our viewers here, Chief Collins Ogoke, who is very well known to me, put out a statement, and that's why I want to bring him into the studio. We'll try to keep it on the topic, but since we're talking about freedom of expression, I'm going to bring you in. Chief Collins, how are you, sir?
Good afternoon from this part of the world, my brother Chidi.
How are you, sir?
Fine, thank you.
Okay. We're talking about Dele Farotimi, and your comment says there's so many evils and criminalities going on in Nigeria, and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu should be freed. So let us know why you wrote that.
You see, no one in Nigeria today will pretend that everything is okay in Nigeria, much when it concerns with justice system in Nigeria. Dele Farotimi captured it very clearly. And what it takes evil to thrive is when men of clout keep quiet. We are blessed with a personality like him. Irrespective of what he knew he would face, saying the truth, yet he went ahead and said the truth. He has been exonerated because all what he wrote in his book is what is playing out today. And when bad people are in governance, the citizen suffers. Why I brought in Nnamdi Kanu case into it is the same judicial system in Nigeria had freed Nnamdi Kanu of all charges. Yet the system, the corrupt justice system, refused to free Nnamdi Kanu. Evil to one person is evil to every other person. And when all of us keep quiet because it doesn't concern us directly today, tomorrow it will concern all and sundry. That's why people have to speak out. I top my hand up for Omoshore, irrespective of whatever bad feelings he may have had about Dele Farotimi in the past. Yet he stood for justice when the need arises. I thank you so much too for bringing us together to air our view. I know the evil justice system in Nigeria and their collude police department might come after me. I really do not care. At the age of 60 and above, I have written my will. So whatever comes today, I will go. It's better I die for justice, die for truthfulness, than bury myself in shame in lies, pretending that all is well. I have been blackmailed all over the world for what I stand for. I'm not afraid. But let there be justice. For the first time, let the world know that there's no justice system in Nigeria. Let the world know that poor man do not have hope in Nigeria. It's mimical to say that judiciary is the last hope of a common man. Not in Nigeria. It's mimical to say that police is the friend of everybody. It's not in Nigeria. We have selective justice in Nigeria. If you do not belong in the political class, if you are not wealthy, then Nigeria is not for you. So I will stop it here. Let Nnamdi Kanu be freed. Let there be justice. Let there be peace. Let there be fair play in that contraception called Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chief Collins Ogoke. And now for the interest of people who do not know Chief Collins Ogoke, Chief Collins Ogoke he wears so many hats. He may look very young, but he's not very young. He's one of our elders in the Canadian community. He's a titled Igbo chief. I know him very well. I've known him for years. And believe it or not, he is the coordinator. I hope I'm using the right terminology, but he is he's the number one man for IPOB in the whole of Canada. He controls IPOB in the whole of Canada. And why I like the way he speaks and his perspective is, you will see some people online and they just make some kind of comments and they don't even understand the dynamics of what happens behind the scene. They don't know, for instance, that Nnamdi Kanu and Omoyele Sowore are good friends, that Omoyele Sowore goes to court. In fact, twice they've tried to kill him because he was attending Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's case. You see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu trying to find out the well-being of Omoyele Sowore. So the people I'm saying this because the people who know, the people who matter, the people that are in the helm of affairs in some organizations, you should listen to them. You should see the way they act. You see how he came up here and he is thanking Dele Farotimi, saying that yes, he has said it all. But some of you will just stay there and say, why are we talking about Dele Farotimi? Chidi, somebody actually accused me, cursed me and said, why am I talking about Dele Farotimi? Why am I not talking about Nnamdi Kanu? But he got it hot from me. I went back and I was so pissed off with this guy. I don't normally respond to people. I went and brought pictures of my little children holding placards and say free Nnamdi Kanu in Toronto. So many, I told him, my children were walking around on the streets of Ottawa. You here in Toronto, have you crossed Toronto? Have you even come down to Dundas Square? What do you know about what you have talked, what you have done concerning Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? You just open your mouth and you run it like tap water. But anyway, let me not waste my time on them. Igbo people have a proverb. They say, I mande, moru. That means we know the people that matter when the chips are down. So, Chief Collins Ogoke, thank you so much for what you do for our community. God bless you, sir.
Bless you, my friend.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. So that is Collins Ogoke speaking on Dele Farotimi. I was sharing something. I would like to still share that thing so that I want to share it. It is where is this? Okay, this is what I was sharing. This is an article they wrote on Times, Premium Times. Why am I sharing this? Because some of us, we're in the dark. We are not current. We don't know what is going on there. Sometimes don't trust on the knowledge you have. Just go out there and ask what is going on. How are people thinking? So that when you open your mouth, you won't just be behaving like Olodo, like somebody, like meh, like moo. No. Sometimes if you don't know, just keep quiet. They say if you keep quiet, people will actually think you're wise. Then when you open your mouth, once you say something, you can't take it back. So when you don't know, keep quiet. Just go and try to understand. That's what you do. I'm not going to be here long. I'm going to be joining a meeting. Thank you, Grandma Estoloide, for being with us. I know what you're running off to, and I'll be running off to join that meeting. But let's see what they wrote out there. They said, Dele Farotimi, Nnamdi Kanu, and the Cobra Effect. Go and read this on Premium Times. Dele Farotimi, Nnamdi Kanu, and the Cobra Effect. That shows you that all these things are connected. When people are held unjustly, that is what makes other people begin to complain, begin to protest, because they see a connection between what these people are suffering. And let me just, the summary says, these two tales, the Cobra Effect and the saga of Nnamdi Kanu, serves as cautionary examples of how actions bereft of foresight and nuance can spiral disastrously out of control. In this context, Mr. Babalola's handling of Farotimi's book is yet another illustration of the same principle. In his petition to the police, he lamented, the book has been circulated all over the country, particularly in Ekiti State, where many people who hold me in high esteem, high regard as an elder statesman, have expressed their disdain due to the defamatory statement made by Dele Farotimi. Now, Dele Farotimi is no stranger to the discerning observer of Nigerian public discourse. Because I don't have time, let me just go down to the story of Nnamdi Kanu. Okay, the first story. It says it takes us back to British colonial India. Alarmed by the proliferation of venomous cobra in urban areas, particularly New Delhi, British authorities, they devised a seemingly rational incentive, a cash bounty for every dead cobra. Locals were encouraged to exterminate the snakes and present their skins to claim the reward. Initially, the scheme proved to succeed, and numerous cobras were killed and their populations seemingly diminished. However, the ingenuity of human enterprise soon upended the plan. Realizing the profitability of the scheme, some individuals began breeding cobras solely to kill them and claim the bounties. When the colonial administration uncovered this subterfuge, it promptly terminated the bounty program. Bereft of financial incentive, the breeders released their now worthless cobras into the wild, exacerbating the very problem the policy sought to resolve. What began as a well-intentioned solution spiraled into an even greater crisis. The term cobra effect has since become a cautionary metaphor for the perils of poorly conceived interventions that backfire spectacularly. Before I read Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's story and connect it to this particular story, let me just summarize for you what happened here. So the British government, when there was cobras all over the place, they came up with a beautiful idea. They say, you know what, let us incentivize the killing of cobras. So they say, if you kill a cobra, bring the skin, we'll give you money. So people started killing cobras and bringing the skin, and the population of cobras diminished. They were clapping for themselves. Oh, the project worked. But the people now realize that, oh, if they're giving money for cobra, they started breeding cobras. So within a short time, they have plenty of cobras. They'll kill it, bring the skin, and collect money. Now, when the British government realized, oh, this is what is happening, and by then these people had bred a lot of I don't think you've seen a snake give birth. A snake can give birth to about 100 snakes, some species of snakes. So you can imagine, when the British government now discovered what they were doing, they stopped the program. And when these people saw that the snakes were worthless, what were they going to do with thousands of snakes? They released these snakes back into the environment. And you can bet me that they probably had more snakes, because they'll be breeding the ones that can produce more young ones. So they just got back to where they started when you have poor planning. Now let's read what they said about Nnamdi Kanu. So the second tale is closer to home and equally instructive. It concerns Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, leader of the Biafran separatist group IPOB. Before his arrest in 2015, Kanu was a marginal figure known primarily within niche circles of his incendiary broadcasts on Radio Biafra. While his rhetoric was provocative, it had not yet garnered significant traction beyond a small, dedicated audience. However, the government decision to detain him indefinitely without trial transformed him overnight into a symbol of defiance. In seeking to silence him, the state inadvertently sanctified him, elevating him to the status of a martyr among many Igbos. His detention shone a glaring spotlight on long-standing grievances about marginalization of the Igbo people, igniting protests and bringing issues of ethnic injustice to the forefront of both national and international discourse. Rather than quelling dissent, the government's action galvanized Kanu's movement, the indigenous people of Biafra IPOB. Conversations about the scars of the Biafran war, the systemic exclusion of the Southeast from Nigeria's political architecture, and the economic neglect of Igbo regions gained unprecedented prominence. Kanu's detention became a rallying cry, sparking demonstrations across the Southeast and among Nigerians in diaspora. Now, these two tales, the Cobra effect and saga of Nnamdi Kanu, serve as cautionary examples of how actions bereft of foresight and nuance can spiral disastrously out of control. In this context, Babalola's handling of Farotimi's book is yet another illustration of the same principle. In his petition to the police, he lamented, the book has circulated all over the country, particularly in Ekiti State, where many people who hold me in high regard as an elder statesman have expressed their disdain due to the defamatory statements made by Dele Farotimi. If Babalola is so unsettled by the reactions of Ekiti populace, one wonders how he might reconcile himself to the knowledge that his own action has now exposed the alleged misconduct of the world at large, to the world at large, by resorting to the instrument of state to suppress dissent rather than seeking redress in the courts. The very institution that defined his illustrious career, Babalola unwittingly magnified the allegations he sought to quash. This episode underscores the enduring relevance of the law of unintended consequences, the principle that interventions can yield outcomes far beyond their intended scope, often to catastrophic effects. For a man of Babalola's stature and legal acumen, this should have been a foregone conclusion. Instead, his actions serve as poignant reminder that even the most influential individuals are not immune to the perils of miscalculation. You see what has happened. In summary, this man, instead of him just treating this case with care, he just blew the thing out of proportion by the actions he took. Now he has made more people know about the book. He was complaining that, oh, people have read the book in Ekiti State. Now the book is all over the world. People have now even come to know the same thing he was trying to hide. The things they didn't even know about him, now it has been revealed. Let me finally show us this book on Amazon. So please, you should go to Amazon. Dele Farotimi. Let me show you where you can get the book, and then okay, so the book is now is now the number one bestseller. Something that this man should have handled quietly. He has now gone to make the book very popular. You know, when God wants to bless you, he'll bring misfortune your way. Dele Farotimi, I don't think he ever knew that this book will blow up the way it has blown up. In fact, they even reduced it so that more people can buy it. So this is the book here, Nigeria and its Criminal Justice System. Maybe they will even tell you how much of the book has been sold. Let me see. They may write how much has been sold, but it's sold by Amazon. But I'm telling you, this book is on fire right now. Let me see. You see, it's 5-star. It's 5-star. Can you imagine? And so many people are buying the book now. The guy is making the guy a millionaire with just the book that nobody would have known. So be careful when you take some actions to kind of pull somebody down. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being with us through this show. I hope we have achieved our aim, which is to sensitize you towards the planned protest. For those of you in London, I will let me get this number that people are supposed to use to call. I promised to send them. So I'm going to put the number on the chat. I'm going to put the number on the chat so that those of you in London can call this number. If you want to know how they're planning the London thing, so call this number. Okay? Yeah, for those of you who want to participate in London, call this number. And okay, let me type it like this. For London, call this. And for Canada, actually Toronto, call. Okay, that's the number to call if you want to join here in Toronto. So that's our broadcast for today. Thank you guys. Make sure you spread this video so that people will get to know what action is being planned. Remember, for Toronto, we're meeting at at Amnesty International. That's where we're meeting. So please, please, please join us at Amnesty International on Tuesday by 1 p.m. Okay, by 1 p.m. at Amnesty International. Amnesty International is at 1992 Yonge Street, Toronto. 1992 Yonge Street, Toronto. We'll see you there, and we will show our support for Dele Farotimi. Let me post it here so that when you come back, you can always see the address. That's where we're meeting tomorrow. All right. On behalf of Dr. Erica and everyone who is part of the Worship Media crew, my name is Dr. Chidi, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.